Hi everyone, Steve, the amateur historian, back on the road again to shoot some more video for my Albina documentary because the cold, rainy weather is coming next week, according to weather professionals who are seldomly accurate, but in this case I believe them. So I'm here at the Rose Quarter just waiting for the yellow line to show up, and I'm going to be heading that way past the bridges. I'm probably going to stop first in Old Town Albina and get some stuff. Even though I've been there so many times, I need to get some good steady footage. And other than that, I'm going to kind of just keep meandering, mostly just kind of working my way north, primarily between I-5, which is technically over here, but it'll be to this side of me when I'm going north, and then like MLK, which will be more this way. And just kind of scattering around from there.
Steve the amateur historian.
Well, to get things started, the Max finally showed up. I probably could have walked to this area faster if I just not bothered waiting. But I'm in like the fringe of the old Albina neighborhood. Like this is Russell Street behind me that goes off up this way. It's a Smithson block. I can't believe I forgot that. And there's a few old buildings going up this way. And this was kind of the main drag in Old Town Albina, was right up that way. I'm gonna go up there and get some video because there's a lot more places. But I also, one of the main things I wanted to get was, here's like the big ass friggin' like Union Pacific terminal. So there's always trains going through the east side by the river because they all kind of come in through here. There's just tracks and trains everywhere. It's a big, huge Union Pacific spot. And this was a big grab. This was one of the things that first started attracting Portland's very small African-American population to the east side of the river, because a lot of them were railroad workers. And there's railroad, there was railroad work on the west side over by downtown. But when this all came in, there was obviously a lot of jobs and a lot of black people. That was what first really started moving them into Albina. And, then it ultimately became the black neighborhood over the course of the next several decades after, like, around the, early 1900s, 1900s, 1910s, so on and so forth. So this is very important to that history. So for my film, I'm trying to get a shot of this plaque. This is about the history of Albina, which is obviously very important to my film. I'm looking at it, and, like, look, there's, like, this hasn't been cleaned off in a while, so I don't have much, but... Oh, good. Backside of this paper is clean. So I'm gonna clean this off. This is history. This looks like shit. Well, it's not a napkin, but I'm doing my best. Just to clear this mess off of here. Alright, and now, when the railway line's like 2 blocks that way, I'm now in like the middle of what was the original like downtown Albina. I think this is where the streetcar came through that really, pushed this town into prominence. It was its own town. All these neighborhoods on the east side were their own cities and towns at one time, and then they all, in 1891, conglomerated with Portland, and this all became just Portland. But yeah, there's a few old buildings down there. There's the White Eagle Saloon right through these trees, which is rumored to be haunted. This is the Torgler Block, I think is what it's called. There's Davis Block here. That was built in 1890, one of the oldest buildings here. There's a really cool, it's not abandoned, but it looks abandoned building down there, and another building that's not really being used. This area, you know, used to be all, you know, like these buildings. And, you know, like lots of parts of Portland, half of them are gone now, but there's still a pretty good representation of Old Town Albina in here with, you know, these old brick buildings. And then, of course, I-5's right up here, which cut right through all of this. But yeah, there's a lot more, like, industrial stuff here now than there used to be. That's kind of overtaken this area to the southeasterly direction. This is a lot of industrial stuff back here. And this building directly behind me, I freaking love this building. It's not abandoned. It looks abandoned as all hell. But yeah, I've seen on the backside here, there's a garage open. People are working on it. I even think that's the case for the building up here. The next building down. Yeah, but check out this old building. You got the, like, sheetrock missing. Look at this. This is just all rotted wood, busted up concrete. I mean, look at this entryway under here. I think this used to be like a saloon at one time, or like a bar type establishment, but it's just been getting beaten and beaten and beaten away by the elements. Oh, that's good. It says right there that there's an alarm system in here, so no one's gonna come in here and beat this place up any more than it already has been. It's got the U on it, which means firefighters need to be safe. I've never really gotten this close to this place. And I found some old pictures kind of looking down Russell Avenue from a little further north. And you can see this building as it looked normally, like before it got all just, you know, beaten up. And April 75? Is that 22 April 75? Hold on a second. I want to see what this actually says. It says, Saul, Irma, Bruce, Doug, Banaski. Huh. At least you know when the last time concrete was laid. And yeah, see, this is a very, like, old-time, like, bar door entrance. Just super... Oh, and it got tagged a little bit up here. That sucks. So, yeah. I love this building. Alright, now I'm the other side of I-5. Which is right here over my shoulder, all these cars going over. That's going to come into play a little later on, because I'm going to go a little further north and start looking at the area where I-5 literally bisected a huge neighborhood back in the 60s. Literally cut right through the middle of a neighborhood, cut it in two pieces with a freeway running through it. It's really just kind of crappy looking now. They threw up those walls to kind of be sound barriers, and just not great. But anyway, and then of course Old Town Albina is right on the other side of it. And I'm heading back towards where I was the other day, back towards like where Russell and Williams and Vancouver, someone I keep forgetting, come together. There's a few more things of prominence that happened in that general area, so I need to go up there and get some of those. And then I'll probably just meander. I was going to plan on going north kind of more that way, but I'm thinking about heading up to, I keep calling it Union, even though it's not Union anymore. I'll probably just head back towards MLK and then start zigzagging my way north. Alright, I'm coming to Russell and Williams. I need to turn south for about a block. I'm trying to find locations that were prominent to Portland's Black Panther Party. I know they had 4 different headquarters altogether in Portland, according to history. And I know where 2 of them are. I haven't been able to find out where the other 2 were. Maybe they were temporary. And so even like historically, people just didn't keep track. But they opened a spot I'm going to. It's near Williams and Sacramento. Again, only like a block down the road. It was originally, hold on, I gotta, because I know they had one location that they moved here. Sorry, I gotta check my notes. Oh, gotta cross the street. Okay, this was originally a dental clinic that the Black Panther started. And then there was a Fred Hampton clinic that was located further down there. I'm going to get that too. It was demoed as part of that whole Emmanuel Hospital thing, so they had to relocate it. So they moved the dental clinic and moved the Fred Hampton clinic to the Sacramento site. So both the dental clinic and the Fred Hampton clinic were located there. And Fred Hampton was the head of the Chicago chapter of the Black Panther Party. Real impressive guy. I mean, I think he was like 20 when he took control of it, and he was a very, very level-headed guy who, that of course all just scared the living crap out of the establishment, out of the FBI, out of anybody, and authorities, if you can call them that, ran into his place and just blew him away one night. And yeah, the address, based on where the marker is, sent me to the site of this funeral home building behind me. I don't know if that's the same building or if like their building was maybe over here where there's a convenience store or the other side of that, but this is the approximate spot. So I'm going with that. I always hate having to film a property where there's like another building there now and the people who live there or work there can potentially see me, but according to Google Maps, when I put in the address of where those two locations were in relation to the Black Panthers, they put this, the mark was like right on this building. So I don't know if that's a building they used or if it's a building that was built after and the building they used was demoed, I don't know. But anyway, I'm going back to Russell, and then once I get to Russell, I'm gonna turn east. I don't think I have to go very far to where the, I think this is where the Fred Hampton Clinic was originally located before it got relocated there. All right, and here's something really interesting. Where this parking lot is, over my shoulder across the street, that's where the Fred Hampton Clinic originally was before it got relocated, like 2 blocks that way, Sacramento. But when they moved the place that was here to there, they had to move the dental clinic somewhere. And so the dental clinic got moved literally right over here. You can't really see it that well. But right here, there's this building with half black up here, gray down here. That is the approximate, or actually like right kind of on the fringe of it, is the exact address of where the dental clinic relocated. So this place left after getting demoed, and the place it replaced moved literally right next door. And as I process forth, here's that building right over my shoulder here where the dental clinic was relocated, and then right across the way here, this is a big old gospel church now, but it was originally the Egyptian theater. And you can tell if you look at old pictures of how the Egyptian theater was structured and how they reworked the front. Oh yeah, it's called New Song Community Church. If you see how they reworked it, you can see it's the same structure. I don't remember this being like this right here at this light. It's just all blocked off. I don't know what happened there. I don't know, but anyway, yeah. I've heard stories about this area, and like black people weren't allowed to sit in the lower levels. They had to go up to the balcony of the theater because they weren't allowed to sit in the closer up seats with the white people. Just ridiculous. All right, so I'm trying to match up this picture. This is 1933 of the Egyptian theater, of what it looked like. And you can see right here, well, you can't really see it that well, but see, I'm trying to get this to match, and I'm gonna get pretty close. And from here, it gets a little scatterbrained. I just have things kind of spread around. I just want to get as many as I can before it starts getting too dark or I get too tired or whatever. This is a full day of work. I'm going to be doing this now. I'm going to be editing on another project when I get home. But I'm on Knott Street because apparently there's a little grocery store down here. And I need some uppers of the drink variety. Alright, so now I am in Irving Park, which I actually wanted to get to, and I just kept going up 7th over here. I didn't realize that it came through on the west side of the park, and here I am where I wanted to be. And one of the big benefits as a guy walking around with a camera is it appears practically all the kids are focused in the playground area over here. So, you know, rule of thumb, when you're out filming places with a camera, go where there's not kids, because you don't want to look like a creeper, and just as importantly, you don't want people out there thinking you're a creeper. So that last part almost makes it sound like I'm trying to give pedophiles good advice. No, if you're a pedophile, I hope you fucking fall on your face and bust your neck open. I don't know, you bust your neck open. I'm sorry, that pedophiles enrage me to a place of incoherence. But yeah, it was very important I'm trying to keep the sun over here. It was very important for me to come out here to get this place, specifically a lot of footage in this area. Oh, And a little while later, here I am. When I last was talking to you, I was over on the other side of this bluff way over here. Made it all through here, made very good use of this park. Probably, I got at least 40, 50 shots for when I discuss the riots that happened here. And I know there's something like down a side street there. I know I gotta go down Fremont and get a couple of things. There's lots of stuff in this area that I can get, so journey continues. Oh, these damn bathrooms better not be locked. Yes. And as I take leave, my leave, of Irving Park, hit up some more destinations. I also wanted to mention, because it's almost like a precursor, it's a very Cliff Notes version of what I'm doing now. I did it in 2 parts. I posted it on my channel, so it's there to see. It's a very, again, watered down take on this history. It's about 32, 33 minutes, both parts put together, and it's on my channel, and it's called Making of a Ghetto, and it's about predominantly the same thing this film is going to be about, except this is going to be like much more in depth, much more dedication, much more time. That was essentially a YouTube video, and this is more of a, like, you know, documentary where I'm going to interview people. And yeah, if you go and watch that, I come here it's about a year and a half, 2 years ago, and I talk about the riots that happened here and a mix of other things. So you can go check that out. It can like give you a nice little setup for what is to come, what I'm doing right now, which is going to be a lot better. So you guys have that to look forward to. And I'm thinking about trying to premiere it at a theater somewhere. I've done that with like films I've written and directed and produced, like written the story, you know, feature film stuff. I've done another feature-length documentary, but I didn't premiere it anywhere. So I'm thinking I might try to do that with this one when it's all finished. It'll be a while. Alright. I remembered I saw Cook Street. This is Cook Street right here, and it reminded me there was something on my list that was at MLK and Cook Street, so like 2 blocks down. And I just looked back at my notes, and it was the original, the very first Black Panther Party Portland chapter headquarters were located at the southeast corner of Cook and MLK, 2 blocks up here. And I know in the last video I did where I was talking about looking for places, what was it? Mind wandering. I was like, I want to get a shot of that today, but I can't remember what the address of the place was. I just couldn't remember. And I ended up not doing it because I didn't know where it was, and I would have had to, it would take forever to find it while I was out on the street. And I pointed up at a newer building, and I was like, maybe that could be it for all I know, because I know it's on the southeast corner. So it'll be like on this side of the street. So we'll see. It might be the same spot for all I know. I don't know. I'll have to match them later. I don't know how much more of this man on the street stuff I'm going to be able to do. My phone wouldn't charge for me again this morning, so I only had like half a battery. But yeah, where this big, obviously very new apartment building is. This is the southeast corner of Cook and MLK, and this is where the original Black Panther Party headquarters were, the first of 4. They were located at this street corner. So I'm going to get some shots here. And another one being built right across the street. And from near Cook and McLaughlin, which is right there, that's the place where the original Black Panther headquarters were. Turn slightly. This is, sorry, I gotta darken that. Woo. Okay, behind me, this is the intersection of MLK and Fremont, and this big building behind me. According to old newspaper articles, there was a McDonald's. It was a big open property. There was a McDonald's located there. And the early 70s, I can't remember if it was 70, 72, 73, the Black Panther Party started boycotting the McDonald's that was located here because they weren't really helping the community that much. And they were like, help us or we're not going to help you. And while those negotiations were going on, someone actually bombed like the front, I think it was like near the front entrance of the McDonald's. And, you know, it was never pinned on anybody, but it was kind of spread around that the Black Panthers were behind it, and they weren't. So I ended up putting my phone away there. You know, it was probably an abrupt cut. I just kind of cut off my train of thought back there. My PTSD got triggered real bad. I was there, had my camera on my tripod right there, just talking to my phone real quick, and I saw a guy kind of jet across the street and come up onto the sidewalk and start walking towards me. Looked a lot like the guy that mugged me a while back of my old DSLR camera, and he even took the same kind of route. So the moment I saw that, I picked my stuff up and I went into the corner store, which I was going to do anyway, but it kind of got me into a more public area, and I'm like, I'm not letting my camera get taken again. You're going to have to fucking fight me. I will literally defend myself violently if anybody tries to steal my camera again. And yeah, so, you know, is it worth it, you know, to end up in prison for stabbing me or whatever, to get a camera that you can maybe get, the camera and the lens you can maybe get like $600 if you're lucky? Like, is it worth it? I don't think so. But anyway, I'm walking more north along MLK here. Gonna just try to get a collection of other things that are in this area that I know I need to get. Maybe get a shot of a couple of schools. I want to get shots of the schools because there was a major educational, segregational divide going on. And problem is, it is a school day, so, you know, I can't be just lingering in front of these elementary schools videoing them. I don't want to get arrested. But that's the plan. And then right as I put my phone away, I realized there's something else I need to film. This parking lot right behind me. I'm just south of Failing and MLK, but this parking lot right here. There used to be kind of an old beat up building there. And that was another site where the Black Panther Party headquarters are located. I don't know if it was the last one, the second, or the third. I know where the first one was, but I don't know if that was the last one. I just know that it's on a historical registry. And the building has been demolished, so it's there where that spot is, that lot. And I am down to like 10% of my battery life, but yeah, this building right here was like an old like community type center, really good for the, you know, young people in the area that ended up having to close down. I've been hearing inklings that they're maybe going to demo it, and it's right across the street from where the old Black Panther headquarters were, and you can see it's just been kind of tagged up. Back here, it's tagged in the front. It's really unfortunate. I didn't even know you could like walk right up to this building like this. I thought it was just all fenced off here. I don't really have the battery power left, but I mean, this is a place that's probably not going to be here much longer, and it's beautiful. It looks like it was like an apartment house at one time. It's definitely had some squatters. Oh, and this has been painted over. I was hoping I could get a look inside of it, but yeah, a lot of just trash left here. Yeah, really too bad. I can maybe get a look in this window, maybe, kinda. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's a sticker. It's a room, some kind of room. Yeah. But again, I don't know exactly what it was, but I want to say this was some kind of a community center type place, like Albina Community Center. I can get a view. Nah, it's too tagged up. Super tagged up. But yeah, just, you know, crapped all over, metaphorically speaking. Wall of Fame. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, another loss for this area. Yeah, because I'm about 90% sure this is the place. This is what it looked like, and I remember seeing people posting about it on Facebook. All right, and on that note, my camera's about to die. I probably won't really be able to get much more of my adventures around the old Albina area today. I'm probably not going to do too much more before I turn myself around and start heading on home. I only wanted to spend about half my day here. I was hoping to be home by like 4, and it's like 2 now. So not too much more to be seen. Alright, so readjusted plan. I'm gonna start heading more in a westerly direction. I know there's a lot more north of here, but again, this is going to be a lot of days of shooting footage. I'm covering a very large base, and I'm just trying to get as much done as I can before the, you know, crappy weather starts showing up. But my plan is I'm heading west. I can get a shot of the old, like, Boyce Elliott School, which is one of the main ones that had a very high African-American population, because that was, you know, that was a lot of the population in the area. And it's funny because Portland desegregated schools so long ago, like during the 1800s, in some cases almost 100 years before other places did. But when you force the, you know, the preponderance of a population into one small area, they're all going to be stuck being in the same area. They're all going to be stuck going to a small number of schools. So the schools really were segregated, even though the city was regarded as desegregated. So I ultimately want to get footage of all of these different parks, but or schools. But I also want to get footage of. So my plan is to try to get over towards I-5 and maybe finish there for the day. So I want to talk about that too, how I-5 just splintered neighborhoods in half. So I'm now turning and going in an opposite direction. I don't know if you noticed, but I was walking while I was just talking, and then I kind of stopped and like meandered. There was a guy standing next to a car. He was standing in kind of a sketchy way, like he was waiting to do something, I don't know what. But he, and he was kind of like almost trying to hide, looked like he was trying to hide behind a car so I wouldn't see him. I don't know, he didn't look right, so I'm taking a different, longer way to get to where I want to go, because I don't want to find out if I'm right about that guy. And in that vein as well, demolished home, another one. In that vein, I'm gonna get the Boyce Elliott School on another day, because I'm getting too far away from it now. I'm probably just gonna focus mostly on the area around where I-5 goes through, getting footage of that area, footage of other stuff, and then probably calling it a day then. It'll probably be pushing 3 o'clock hour, and I'll be wanting to head home anyway, and it works because I go towards I-5, that's where the yellow line goes, so we're gonna take the yellow line back to the rose quarter, hop the green line. I'm home pretty quick, so it all worked out. So in that vein, since I've got like 4% battery life left on my iPhone, I'm just gonna wrap this vlog up now. Certainly gave you enough info, kind of setting you up for the big thing that's to come. And anyway, until next time, guys, from some part, I think I'm in the Boyce neighborhood, but in general, the historical Albina area. This has been Steve the Amateur Historian, and I will see you next time.